The topic of today's episode is self-love. So we are going to discuss how you can train yourself to love yourself. So I hope you're ready because today we're doing it. You're going to have to intentionally spend time with yourself because you want to know yourself more than you know anyone, and because you want to look forward towards spending time with yourself more than you look forward towards spending time with anyone. Because only from that place can you attract the right people in your life. Only from that place can you be in such a relaxed and peaceful state that having all the things you want just comes naturally to you. But you can't have that if you are always looking at the next moment and at the next thing and at the next person who has to join you for you to feel as a whole person on your own. And you have to love the idea of yourself and your goals and where you are going more than the idea of just wanting anyone to be there for you. Because I promise you guys, the more you love your own company, the more people want to be around you all the time. Your energy becomes addictive. Everyone wants to be around your energy, and that's simply because you have taught yourself how to be in your own light. You can only teach that to yourself when you spend enough time with yourself. I only speak royal to myself. I only talk royal to myself is all about you becoming the greatest queen that has ever existed in your own world. Now, it has to happen in your own world. You do not want to start saying that to everyone around you. What I'm trying to say here is that I want you to have the highest opinion of yourself, and not in a rude way where you think you're better than others, in the sense of you recognizing that you are a queen, that there is no price tag that can define your worth. That's how valuable you are. So there is a recording playing in your mind every single day, and that recording is happening on an unconscious level. And that's why a woman with the queen mindset, she starts becoming aware of the recording that is playing in the background. And every time she catches herself giving a negative comment towards herself, she replaces that negative comment with 7 new compliments. I remain in my magic zone. Every woman who has found her magic zone is a powerful woman. The magic zone is the faith zone. It's when you are so strongly connected to your intuition. It's like a magical thing happening almost, because you just know things that in your mind they don't make sense, but your intuition is guiding you exactly to the right people, to the right cities, to the right opportunities. And suddenly you start living a life you never thought was possible for you, simply because you are so connected to your magic zone, where you know you are being taken care of, where you have no fear but only faith. Because every time you are in a state of faith, you open the door for God, life, the universe to work in your life. Every time you are outside that magic zone, you are in your fear, and when you are in your fear, you close the door for God to work in your life. I search, I find, and I protect my magic zone. I search, meaning I intentionally spend time with myself to hear my intuition. The way you know you have found it is when you have a knowing that is so strong, and that knowing doesn't make any sense to your mind. You know you have found that magic spot, and then you protect and stay within that zone. Means that you cut off any toxic person that installs fear in you, and you surround yourself with people who are themselves searching or living within that magic zone. And that's how you start putting yourself in an environment where you living your best life is the only option out there for you. A woman who knows how to work with her intuition can be beaten. I find my ground only in source. It can be source, it can be your higher self, it can be life, whatever you resonate the most with. For you guys who know me, you saw that in one video I talked about how 2 years ago I lost everything. Like, I had no home, I had no money, I had no friends. I was in a whole other place than where I was from. And it was one of the hardest things I went through, but also one of the most beautiful things I went through, because that's when I started relying on source, God, life, and where I have been experiencing the most beautiful things simply because of that connection. And what I have learned throughout these 2 years is that if you have people around you who want to support you, that's a gift, and be very grateful for that. But always know that you have the biggest help and support that lives already inside of you. And when you know that, there is nothing that scares you. There is nothing that you feel like you cannot have or do or be, because that power lives inside of you. And I started experiencing how powerful it is when you rely on that source, on that power, before you rely on anything else. It gives you strength. It makes you whole. It heals you. It transforms you. It's like the most beautiful thing once you have found that connection. And you don't necessarily need to be religious. That's why I'm saying source, because I really want everyone to find that for themselves. Because I promise you, there has never been one time where I have not received what I have asked for once I was connected to source. I only need to win for myself. I was listening to a podcast, and in that podcast, this older woman was explaining how if someone has betrayed you, you should win to show them what they lost and things like that. And I understand where she's coming from, but what I have learned through my own experience is that every time you are doing something to show them, every time you're trying to win to show them something, you never get as far as if your intention is because you want to do it for yourself. Because every time you want to show them something, them becomes the subject of why you are doing something, and it is impossible for you to reach everything you want to reach and for you to become who you want to be if your focus is not yourself. And if that's the fuel you use to get something or to get somewhere in your life, you might get there, but it's never gonna be as big and as powerful than when it comes from God himself. And what I've seen in people who have achieved great things, in every book that I have read, in every podcast that I have listened to, people who have achieved the greatest things, their fuel was love. Something crazy happens when you come from a place of love. It is as if God, the angels, the entire universe came together to bring you more than what you have asked for, because the fuel you're using is love. And that's why you want to make it your personal business to forgive everyone who has hurt you and to trust life, God, the universe, that it will reorganize all the events to give back everything you have lost, while you focus on loving yourself and healing yourself and going after everything you know you deserve. I am programmed from within. So you become aware of everything that's happening around you. You start becoming aware that social media, that the magazines you read are all there to almost break your self-perception. And every time you turn to social media, you turn to the magazines, you turn to what your partner thinks about you, it is as if your self-perception is changing every time you try to find yourself outside yourself. If you want to learn how to love yourself in such a way where you are able to create everything you want in your life, you want to start programming yourself from the inside out. That means I intentionally decide what I listen to and what I allow inside my universe, because I know that everything I listen to and everything that I allow to get into my world is going to affect me, and I do not want that, because I want to be the master of my own life. And because of that, I am very mindful. I set criteria as to who has access to me and as to what has access to me, because I know that this will define who I become, and this will define how I feel and think about myself. And that's how you maintain control over your self-image, and that's the only way you're going to be able to create whatever you want in your life. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys mean the world to me, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Thank you guys so much for investing in yourself. You guys, if you want more content, join my other platforms so I know you want more content, and I'm going to see you very soon. Bye.